Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. How are you? We're here. We're early. It's what we're doing now. We're giving it a rip. Last minute getting in. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying cool. I do. Hope that for you. Got a little bit of a wider shot today because what I'm going to show later. Kelly and I have been going crazy on our scouts. What have you been going crazy on? Tell me in the chat comments or the regular comments below. Appreciate that. Pops in the house. And the house is packed. Kelly's here, waiting in the wings. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm going to post this out real quick to Faceplace as well. Are you ready, Kel? Quick to Faceplace as well. Are you?
Holy cow! There you are.
Holy moly spicoli.
Dude, what's happening?
What is happening? Otherwise known as sappening, if you just want to say it with one word.
Sappening, happy early Wednesday birdie. Right?
That's right.
Dude, I went with my AirPods tonight. I'm going to style.
Okay.
So can you hear me all right?
I can. Can everyone else?
Apple all the way.
Yeah, I like those.
Super nice. Super friendly.
I'm trying
super
to grab
convenient. And not on Grape Road, as they say.
I'm going to try to grab this link.
Mr. Ramsey,
In the
how are you, sir? How are you doing, sir?
He got the FMS Toyota, the gray one with the Toyota iconography on it.
Right on.
And he ripped it off. He ripped off the stripes and stuff.
Nice. So do I sense a custom paint job coming on this thing or what?
You never know. He said he had to use both hands to pull them off.
I bet.
It was intense.
You know, Chinese, man, they know how to make stickers.
Except they can't come up with glue to keep your retracts in.
Ha!
The glue for the stickers and the servo wires far exceeds in strength the glue they use for retract pockets.
Well, they want it to fall apart in high speed, so that way, it crashes and you can buy another one, right?
There you go. The money's in parts, I guess.
Right. There's
Kirk in the house. What up?
Kirk in the house. Ann, how are you? Yeah. I'm curious to know what we're going to talk about tonight because I got a piece of PLA sitting here that I put out in the hot sun. You know that.
Ooh.
The other day, and man, that thing went warpage.
I think I am a bit willing to now start to consider and try one. And that may be what prompts me into bypassing the trimmer's truck for a minute and doing a PETG truck. Just so I have an excuse to make something else.
So does the Pet G, does it run like the PLA? Is it quiet and non-invasive with smoke and fumes and everything?
I believe in between? So I print PETG for all of my clear plastic is transparent PETG. So it's always small and it's over really quick. It's not a very long print, but I think it's not near as nasty as the PSA and ASAs are. So, and from, internet scholars, it seems that whenever you see someone talking about these trucks or these prints,
yep,
PETG seems to always win on the temperature discussion, which we've ignored completely until summer has falling upon us.
I know. I'm afraid to take the black bug truck out. I'm afraid it'll melt like.
Well, all that
Like
finish may hold it up.
I might have to rename her the Wicked Witch.
It's going to be one of those things where you'll get it back at the end of the day, and the body's gone, but the finish will still be there, and it'll be really lightweight now.
It'll look like this.
Oh my gosh.
That used to be straight, ladies and gentlemen.
And that sat out there for hours though, in 90 degrees.
Yeah, it did, but still. But what I noticed was it seemed like the first 45 minutes
softened up.
It really softened up to the point that you could put, marks in it real easy with your fingers. And then it started to get hard again after like 2.5 hours. It's almost like it crumbled and then it just stopped.
Okay, so we can sunshine temper these things then.
Right. We need to get some UV spray and put on these things.
I guess we'll learn the hard way, maybe.
I have some UV spray, some protectant that I put on my boat seats quite often, and it's called 303, and it's an aerospace UV protectant spray. And it goes on like Armor All, but it dries. It's not oily like what Armor All is. Okay. So maybe I might try to wax the boat truck with that.
Yeah, or maybe I need to build one that I don't go so crazy on as a sun test.
Well, there's that. I got to bump up a little bit. I feel like I'm like smaller than you tonight. What's up with that? You're sitting up king. You're like a king tonight.
Well, I widened I'm always a king, brother. I widened the shot out though because of what I'm going to show later.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, everybody already knows what it is.
Right? Can you see what's sitting back here? You see what's sitting in the trailer? I'm trying to figure out how to get that damn thing to sit in there okay, because I'm thinking about bringing the Typhon when we go out Monday.
Ooh.
To the sandbox back there.
Yeah, bro, that's not a bad idea. We got to do something fast. Because, bro, I can drive those things too. Racing and fashion and flipping and all.
I know you can. It's been a while for probably both of us.
Last time I drove something fast was a couple weekends ago at the races with Kirk and Sean.
Yeah. Kirk says for sure. Yeah. But the fire team truck would be a good one to throw in this. If I could get it somehow mounted on that trailer and just let the 6 drag it back there.
Massive.
That's
massive.
I brought the Creighton, my big Creighton 8S. It's sitting next to me over here that I'm gonna take the lid off of it. I haven't done nothing to it since we ran it at the fun park and we beat the living.
That thing is so big.
They are, but they fly so good.
They do. They really do. I still have the I-beam suspension that I'd like to. I still need to do a 10-2 pre-runner.
Yeah, you do.
And I could see putting paddle tires on it on the rear. You know what I mean? Little sand rail kind of pre-runner deal.
So do you take the front, the drive shaft out of that then?
Yes.
And just make it 2-wheel drive?
Yes.
That would be sick.
Scissor I-beam. Yeah, I bought that kit, but I haven't done it. I need a 10-2. I think, honestly, you can use that kit on a 10-3 if it's like the hubs and the bearings or something are the difference.
Gotcha.
Maybe some mounting locations, but I'm the kind of guy I'd really almost rather do a 10-2 because I already know it's going to work.
For sure.
You know
Kirk
what I mean?
Yep. Kirk says he'll bring his open trailer for me because he didn't put the sides on his.
Oh.
Like I did.
Yeah, yeah.
So if his SCX6 will fit on it, I know this Typhon will.
Nice. I wonder about the sand how good it would do. You know, you've got some pretty gnarly treads on there, so there's hope. But like the wider, flatter tires are better on that stuff.
Bro, I'm gonna jump the creek with this thing. Come on.
Let's go. Let's do it, man. My Typhon's race ready right now, so it's got the pin tires on it.
Well, it's nice, bro, because you know what? We could actually try and do that because it's so hot out. That creek's probably 90 degrees. We can walk across that now.
I bet it is a lot smaller. I mean, we have had some rain, but it's certainly drying up.
For sure.
It's certainly drying up. I got a rally car. I got a handful of fast ones, man. I got a Vortex. Dude. And I have a 2-wheel drive Traxxas oval car that I could turn into something too if I wanted to.
Let's go float some stuff, man. I think it'd be kind of cool actually to see if we could just run those across the creek now that it's warm. You know what I'm saying? Like you should bring that Creighton 6S and we just run it right across the creek, dude.
Across the water?
Yep. I keep seeing more and more guys do that. Man, come on.
If you hit it right, you can do it. Yeah.
That sand area down there, that beach would be a great place to just run right across.
As long as you're prepared to go get it when it stalls out in the middle and sinks. You know what guys do? They'll pack the bodies full of those pool noodles. So at least it slows it down while it's sinking.
Right. Well, after, you know, my buddy completely sank my 10-3 Jeep that day we were out there. And it drove all the way back out of the woods, bro. And it was 2 foot down in the water. He had to reach down in and grab that thing.
Titan. Exploration.
Hey, man. Just proves it's axial tough like Armatough, right?
Fully submersible. Yeah. Hold on a minute. This light's too much.
I know it's bright out, bro.
It's because we're going at the crack of dawn now.
Yes,
Crack
sir. Everybody must be eating dinner or something. You know, I'm only showing 5 people in here. Come on.
I know, right?
Let's go.
Sean did that at Oxbow with his Jeep.
Is that when it? Well, it almost fell. His Jeep almost fell through the damn ice when we were out there over the winter. He was treading pretty crazy out there, and it started to go. Luckily, he had some good boots on, was able to step in and grab it. But
yeah, I wear those boots up to my knees.
Yeah, but now, dude, with it being 90 plus degrees out here, I'm telling you that water will be like bath water now. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't think I need those big boots now. You know?
Oh, Victor says, I'm here now. I was eating dinner. Yep. Come on, everybody.
What up?
I was going to make me some dinner and sit here and eat in front of everybody, but then I was like, no, I'll wait till the show is over.
My wife likes to trick me into thinking I'm getting something good. So she had to take my boy up to lacrosse practice, and there was enough stuff to feed the girls here. So what do you want to do? You know, you want me and Rafe to bring something home for you? I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, some time goes, and then she's like, you know, is there enough there for you guys to get by? Because, you know, Rafe was hungry, and I fed him on the way to lacrosse, so I'm not going to be stopping on the way home.
Oh, nice.
And I'm easy, you know, so I'm like, sure. But what that means is no. And I'm going to end up having for dinner what I had for lunch, which is like salami, cheese, and Triscuits.
Nice.
You'd think if I ate like a bird or a rabbit that I wouldn't be such a lard, but nope.
Well, there's always DoorDash, man. Come on.
I've never used anything like that.
Dude, we do that almost every Friday night because I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody because, you know, my job, I'm in front of people all day long.
I get it.
And so I'm like, I just want somebody to just bring dinner to the door and just quietly take a picture and walk away.
I can appreciate that. I certainly can.
Yep.
I certainly can. And let me go on Face Place again real quick because
Face Place. Yeah, Victor, I get it, man. I do the same thing a lot of times for lunch, man. I'm like, damn it, there's nothing here in the house. I need to go get something. I gotta go back out again.
yeah, I prefer not to.
But I'll tell you what, Culver's makes one hell of a double butter burger, though.
Butter burger.
Fantastic.
I'm sharing this out.
Share it out. When in doubt, share it out. Man, I was gonna put something on my YouTube, and then I got busy working on a spreadsheet for work, and I'm like,
oh, spreadsheets are fun.
yep, building a spreadsheet for some fine business.
There you go. Your Dan go back to Cali?
He wasn't here. It was my direct boss that was here from California.
I gotcha. Did he
Probably,
go back to Cali?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yep.
I don't think so.
Back to Cali.
So, man, these projects take some time. Anybody who's been here for a minute knows what we've been working on. What's on the counter is Scouts ready to go
with custom license plates over here.
That's right. I saw that file came over this morning. I haven't messed with it yet, but the only thing I've been printing lately is just the little lenses and that kind of stuff, just to kind of cap it off.
Yep.
I got my windshield wipers on and the windows in last night. Like, I am legit ready to run.
Now, where'd you put the wipers at? Up top or down at the bottom?
Bottom.
Gotcha. Is that where they're at on that real one?
Yes. And it depends what year you go look at. They're on the top or the bottom.
Bro, I'm gonna put mine on the top. I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it. Victor, where are you at in California, brother?
Mine are right there.
Right there. Dude, look at that. Hey, Wild Bill, what's up?
Right
dude,
there.
that thing, dude, I'm so jealous. That thing looks so damn good compared to mine.
Oh, bollocks. Yours looks
dude. Mine's an orange peeled piece of. That thing looks fantastic, Ryan. I mean, you did a great job on that. The driver looks good. The skin color is perfect.
It takes me a couple times to get it right. He really had quite a tan earlier, and then I added a little bit more white and red. And I told you this other day, it takes, I'll pull this back over in a minute, but it takes more red than you think it's going to. But I literally will match it up to me. You know, I'll mix it and then I'll paint some on me, and I'm like, okay, that's about it. And this guy is actually, ironically, very, very similar to my Chevy guy. And I mix as I go, so it's not like I saved it.
Yep.
I just.
And I forget, do you brush it on or do you airbrush it?
I brush.
Brush it? Yeah.
I brush, man. And it worked out. I mean, this dude's got pupils, blue eyes, whites in his eyes.
Dude, did you see Matt's video from them being out in Utah?
No, I haven't.
Dude, I wish that sucker would watch this show, because he had these, dude, check this out. He had these wicked looking sunglasses on. And I was like, damn, Matt, those
some little tiny sunglasses.
Those things are ugly. Bro, check this out, bro. This is for you, Matt. He had a pair of sunglasses on that kind of looked like these round bug things. And if Bree's watching right now, she would probably put a nasty comment on because she absolutely hates these things. They're so ugly. They look like Bugman. But dude, if you watch Matt's video, he's got they're like reflective silver lenses and black frame. Dude, they're the most ugliest things in the world. Sorry, Matt, but these things are ugly, and I don't know. They're so ugly. I like them.
I mean, I'm not mad at them. I like those. I've been rocking classics for a while. I mean, either Wayfarers or Aviators, but
yep.
Those aren't awful. I mean,
yeah.
if you're in a rock band, those are perfect.
Well, back in the day, gosh, this was like probably 20 years ago. I come across a pair. I think it was Sunglass Hut of Oakleys, and they were designed by Jordan. And they were round. They were smaller round than what these are. I have them somewhere here in the house. And they had leather in the center with white stitching on each side. And they were the most god-awful, kick-ass sunglasses ever.
Right.
And they had gold iridium lenses in them. And I wore them when I was flying all the time because, dude, it was like, they work so good in the sunlight, and you could pick up traffic out there everywhere.
Oh wow.
And they were my like flying glasses, and I wore those damn things everywhere. And then they're serial numbered too. It's kind of crazy, but I got them laying around somewhere, but I think I took the leather off of them because it was starting to get bad.
I remember these lifeguards in the 80s would have these glasses that had look like the blinders on the sides, these little, leather bits.
Yep.
And
they see if I can find a pair of these.
They thought they were cool wearing them, but I don't think I was super into them at the time. But they're like steampunk. They look kind of. You would need the right outfit.
Right, bro. Here they are.
And you can get away with any of it.
There they are.
Okay. You're from the future.
Dude, those things, I loved them.
Yeah, those are, you can, if you look at a map with those glasses on, can you see people waving?
Oh, yeah. Look at those, dude. They were just awesome.
When you wear them, do you get this weird affinity for like sugar water?
Dude, yeah, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of weird, cool stuff. Yeah. Dude, it was nuts. And I was actually given rides at the Mishawaka Pilots Club when we do our Father's Day fly-in, drive-in breakfast. I did that for like 3 or 4 years after I got my commercial rating. And believe it or not, I had never seen anybody else wear a pair of those glasses except for Samuel L. Jackson. And I pull up, people get out, next group comes over, and the guy comes up on the wing and he looks in, and I look at him and I'm like, nice shades, bro. He had the exact same pair.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. Anyway, so sunglasses, man, whatever. But those were my fave, man. Those things were my faves.
Yeah, I haven't seen the We Rock stuff yet, though. I aim to. I just haven't had a chance. I've been working on this thing, man.
Dude, these things are $3,000 now.
What?
Yep.
Some of the best glasses I ever had were $20, and then I got lately. I get the thing about a $20 pair is you end up losing them.
Dude, they're between $3,400 and $3,600 now.
Jeez.
Yep. Crazy. Anyway, all right. Back to RC.
Yeah, man. I hate that this light washes this out. Hold on a minute.
Hey, I think we need to get Kirk on here next week. It'd be a perfect time to do it because he's actually he's off next week, and so am I.
Cool. I'm taking off Monday.
Nice.
It's still washed out. Dude.
That's what happens, dude, when you got a yellow banana sitting in front of you there on that table.
And hopefully the Snowstar decals work out. Kirk's working on it with his, hey, the light just got better. Now you can see it good. Look at that. The light got better.
Yeah, I like the contrast with the green shirt on Matt, and yeah, it looks great.
Windows are in it.
Did you say that? How do you get his arm to lay where you want it? Do you glue his body in first, and then how do you hit that so perfect? Because mine sucks.
Well, the file, he's articulated. So you run a string through his hand and his forearm and his shoulder, and then you just put him where you want.
So that's what you do with it, though? You put a string down through it?
Yeah, it's made for it. That's how he's the articulated driver.
But okay, so do you glue him then after you get it where you want it? Or is it like, can you move his arm?
His hand to the steering wheel where I want it. And then his arm on the outside, I glue to whatever he's holding on to, just his hand. So like this dude.
Oh, okay.
Still can, I haven't glued his hand on, so I can tuck him away, or he can, get in his pocket, whatever. I can put his arm inside.
Gotcha.
I can stick him out the window.
Okay, because I took a little heat to mine, really, really just a little bit of heat, and had to kind of like finagle his arm a little bit to get it to rest on the top of the door.
Not uncommon especially if you glue him up tight where he's not moving. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to run a string through his hand, through his forearm, into that shoulder socket. And then on the back of the shoulder, you got all that radius to lay the string down on and glue it. And then you got this dude that can do whatever.
Gotcha.
And that's what I do. And I was using winch line like he recommended at Knight's Custom, but I've eventually run out of winch line. And so I used this guy. I'll strip servo wires down into the 3 individual wires. I've used them for other things. And so it's just a servo wire one.
So do you just tie a knot in it and then go through where his hand's at and through the arm?
You start with the hand. So you got this divot for where it's supposed to grab the steering wheel kind of, and you kind of have the string come through and take a 90, which gives it some more area, and I CA it right into his hand, and then run it tight through, and then you pull the string through that shoulder, and it's in his back.
Yeah.
In that socket, you just lay it on that radius and glue it right there.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have to do that next time, because this dude, man, he's locked up tight, bro. He's got like a bottle and a half of CA on him.
It's honestly been nice being able to move the dude, because
for sure,
both his arms will move if I want. And I didn't anchor his head in. It's gonna do whatever it wants.
But you got a string going down through his head too.
There's a little post that comes up through that, if you wanted, you could hook to a servo. I haven't done servos on these guys since the CJ7.
Gotcha.
And my Willie's wagon guy moves, and it's like,
bro, that's a lot. That's too much work, man. I don't have the patience or the time for that.
It's okay. I thought about doing it on this one, but I'm like, I'm good, man. And I still could, because he's not glued into the seat or nothing.
Right. Chris, what's up, man? How's it going?
Kirk says he's going to have those decals by Friday. Bro, that'll set that off. If I can get those snow stars on there.
Heck yeah.
Man, the back end, like all these marker lights, none of this stuff was in the kit. Same with that Scout logo you made. And then I threw those markers on the back quarter, and I can't see.
Bro, did you put lights in those reverse lights or no?
They're dummies, dude.
Gotcha.
The only lights that work are the headlights and the tail lights. I just wanted the lenses for the other stuff.
Gotcha.
And I'm happy with that.
Nice.
Working on Stretch Armstrong still, says Chris.
Stretch Armstrong. Dude, that's a good name. Who came up with that? Was that you, Ryan?
Of course.
Dude, that thing, I was looking at the pictures that he posted. Dude.
That's a killer project, dude.
That thing, I bet that thing will ride so nice. So nice. That chassis, how long?
And so answer this, we did the sunshine test where it sat out there. And of course, that was dark filament with no paint on it. It sat out there for a little while and started to get soft right away. I haven't tested it yet on a painted one.
I think that the paint obviously helps protect the PLA, and especially with you having a white hood.
I think the color will make a difference. Yeah,
that'll make a huge difference.
And most of the time, you're in the woods. Right. Maybe we're gonna find. Exactly. We're definitely gonna learn the hard way. I have a feeling.
Right, dude. I'm thinking about getting one of those little umbrella things that goes over your head. It's got an umbrella. I figure out how to mount that on top of my roll cage.
Rogers, what up, man?
The links.
He chassis. Said have to do something different with the links. Chassis 37 inches. Holy smokes!
That's crazy.
You know what I do with the links? Print a smaller truck. Yeah, dude. I'm pumped with this. I can't wait to run it. I got a little test run of it outside, posted it up on social the other day. It wasn't dialed in like this, but I got to see it run and articulate. And I showed you that goofy piece I made to mount this up, but I went for bolts, man. I got bolts through the stock pin locations again.
Hey, dude, that's where you live, man. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, 42 inches long.
Battery through the window. I don't need to take it off.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it slides under the seat.
Dude, I was going to tell Chris, if that was my project, I would go buy some stainless steel rod and get yourself a set of metric dies and just put your own threads on the end, cut them to the length you want, and just thread them on the end.
What if you had all thread? What if you had all thread and you sleeved it?
I wouldn't do that. I would buy a tap and die set metric, and I would cut them to the length you want and just use a metric die and cut the threads on the end of each side and go for it.
And call it.
Yep. That's what I would do right on the kitchen counter, bro. I don't know if Victor's still in here. I asked him where he lived at, and he said he's out on the south side of LA, and that's where I'm at quite a bit for work. We're actually in Buena Park, California, if you're still in the house, Victor.
Is that when you go do your when you go to Def Jam and drop your tracks? Yep.
Right on Daniel's head.
Wham! Maxwell's silver hammer.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Rogers Aviation, what's up?
Got to have left and right-handed taps to do that.
Yep. Well, let's see. Let me think about that. Couldn't you just flip the die over and run it backwards? It'd give you a left-hand thread, wouldn't it? Probably would.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You should be able to flip the die over and just run it upside down and give you the left-hand thread. unless I'm really missing something.
There's ways to get around it, I think. You know what I mean? You just wouldn't be able to adjust it on the vehicle.
Rogers Aviation said it doesn't work like that. I didn't know if it did or not. It's been so long since I've messed with dies.
And for links, man, worst case scenario, you got to take one side off. You know what I mean? You can't leave them on. Like with these, you can leave them on, tighten or loosen, and it works.
Right.
But if they're both the same, it doesn't. And apparently, yeah, you can't flip it. He would know too.
Yeah, I used to know. 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
4 scores and 30 years ago.
So I got my RC for Life plate on, my fake reverse lights, marker lights that I repurposed off the Travelall files.
Right on.
Felt no obligation to run real lights to all of them, but just for fake looks.
Did you put two LEDs in each one of those taillights?
And the front. Yes.
Got you.
To keep from soldering and making my own. I just gobbled up 2 10-3 light kits to do this one vehicle.
Got you. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the taillight lenses on yours. That looks really good. But you know, it's cool. You did yours different than I did mine. So I just used that clear polycarbonate and just lightly sprayed them red on the inside and cut them out, glue them on.
I used a little bit of silver Sharpie on this one too, here and there for elements that are supposed to be. These little marker lights actually have a impression molded into them where the bezel would be, and I drew them all.
So that's what you used as a silver Sharpie for those 3 little. Yeah, that's how I actually did the International Scout lettering on the back of mine.
Oh, cool.
With a silver Sharpie.
I did this on top of the gray ones, Scout logos, and the IH on the hood. I actually did the IH on the hood with this too. And then if I didn't paint it already with paint, some of these more recent embellishments I silvered up with this.
Gotcha.
And these dummy lenses on the reverse lights, they'd show yellow through that clear PETG if I didn't back them. So I just backed them white. And they were okay if I didn't do it, but they're better that I did.
Weren't you using that medical tape on some of your headlight lenses on the inside?
I've backed them with that too. Yeah. And then I got smart and realized I already got white spray paint out. I can do it. So my headlights are not these, but you can see that reverse light. It's kind of white looking clear on the middle. And then, oh my God, these, the sun kills it. Those lenses are clear, but they're backed in white.
Bro, what'd you use for your marker lights underneath your headlights?
The same ones I used on the side.
Gotcha.
The Travelall marker lights, resized.
Gotcha. See, Kirkman gave me some reflective tape, and that's what I used for mine.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't ever do turn signals on these things. I just wanted to see them, man. And the more I look at those pictures of these things, the more I see. And I'm like, oh, I can make that.
And I gotta tell you, still to this day, those red diff covers look like on that.
That's why I did those.
I mean, those just stick out like a sore thumb on that truck. You need to paint those damn things.
You're gonna talk me into it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't bother me, but
bro, I'll buy you a can of that damn paint and give it to you Monday. Ha!
I got black. I can do it.
I actually need to take my front one off of the bug truck and repaint it because it's starting to wear off.
Paint it in place.
I'm just picky about crap like that.
I'll brush it. I'll brush it right on that joint.
See, Kirk even agrees. Paint him, Ryan.
Okay, gosh. I'll just paint him black with a brush. Call it done.
Dude, Rogers Aviation straight out of the 90s. Man, the 90s was the best.
They still are.
Dude, speaking of 90s and 80s, did you watch the rest of The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd?
Nope. Once I miss something, that's usually it.
Come on.
Nope. I get ripped off all the time.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's that YouTube hustle, dude.
Dude, you're missing one of the great American classics.
That's one of many.
Just saying.
One of many. Speaking of great American classics, there's a sale right now at Horizon on like power systems and stuff. They've got it's almost half off on the 2-in-1, like 2800 kV 2-in-1 crawler motor.
So where's that come out to on price? Because
$50 instead of 100.
Oh wow. So it's cheaper than the Fusions.
And it's the damn same. It's the same stuff.
Dude, why do you tell me this stuff, man?
Because it's a good deal.
Because you know what I'm gonna do.
Links in the distro.
You know what I'm gonna do.
We got to figure out printing off our own heads on these. I'm ready to see me driving.
Well, we need to buy a 3D scanner.
Oh, well, forget about it then.
We need
I did heat up this dude's hand a little bit to grip the wheel a little better because he's got like these big gloves on, and his hand was too big for the wheel. So I tightened him up some.
Nice. Yeah, well, you know what, Ryan? One of these days, I'll probably at some point have a 3D scanner, and then we can 3D scan you, and then we can start using Pilot Ryan figures rather than Matt.
Yeah, just make me skinny. It's it. All I need is my head, and I'll put it on this dude.
Dude, there's got to be a way to do it.
There is. I think anything you can think of can honestly probably be done if you're smart enough or willing to do it enough.
We need to find somebody in our rat pack around here locally that's got one of those. I need to start asking. Yeah, I need to start asking around. Somebody's got to have one.
It'd be fun to see stuff in there.
And I think that the FPV stuff would be fun too. That little system that's hot right now out there.
I would love to try that. Because then I think even driving around somewhere that's lame would be fun.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, and the other thing that I need to do now, since I'm getting pretty good with Fusion, I need to design like a cell phone holder and put it in my front seat of the Scout.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I guarantee there's a ton of cell phone holders out there
Probably.
that you just repurpose the base. Just
Probably
make
so.
Yeah, just make someone's already done the work. Just you make the base.
Yeah, I need to figure that out because it just, I don't know. It's kind of cool to be able to do that. Just set that sucker in there and record while everybody's driving in front of you. But then again, I'm in the back, so you know what's going to happen. I'm gonna rear end somebody
if you're not careful. Well, man, I tell you what, the windows in this thing and those open back trucks that we do. Actually, I'll get an idea what the shot is right now in here. Hold on. Yeah, you would want something to wow, that is a clear window. You'd want something to
There you go. Chris just answered a question.
Oh, $160.
Well, how much are handheld 3D scanners?
800 in it.
Are they really?
I looked one time and I didn't look very long. That was enough.
A Cletus McFarlane, Garrett Mitchell head. Ha! Nice.
But I mean, dude, you could use it for a lot of stuff if you have.
Oh, you know what I would do? I would totally do a Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. That's what I need.
Yeah, I want glasses to put on dudes because then I don't have to paint their eyes.
Dude, bro, just Bubbles.
That's it.
You ever watch that show, Ryan?
And then I've seen clips. Aren't those dudes Indiana? Like, where are they?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've watched.
I always think when I think of that dude, I think of Bob and Tom for some reason.
I'm sure they've probably been on Bob and Tom. Everybody has.
Okay.
But I don't know where they're at. I don't even know where they filmed that at. It makes sense it would be around this area, right?
Yeah. Chris has all 3 Trailer Park Boys Funko Pops in his honcho bodies. Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yep. The cut through anything saw. Gotta love it.
The fly high FPV LED stuff makes sick underglow. Yeah, man, FPV would be sick, bro. Especially if it's hotter than Hades out, you know? I tell you what, FPV is going to make me have to start finishing these interiors better. That's one thing I haven't done a lot of. You're a little bit stuck doing the interiors because of the open concept, so to speak.
Yep.
I haven't been on 2 of these.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of doing interiors, but unfortunately, I like the open air look, so I'm kind of somewhat tied to it.
I'm just saying, if you got a camera in there and you're watching it back, you're going to wish you did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, what truck was it I had out that I was following you that day? Was it the black? It was the black bug truck, wasn't it? Yeah.
I had
my camera. No, it was the black bug truck, and I had it sitting looking through the back window through the cab, and it was okay, but need to figure out a way to keep that thing stationary and in place.
And you would next level if the thing about FPV is too, like if you had head tracking on, you don't have to have your eyes running through the head tracking. So you can still get the shot without having to get inside of it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
You just have to be aware of what you wanted to do.
Bro, you know a way we could do it? Now that I think about it, I could strap my Mavic Pro, my DJI Mavic Pro on top, and I got the headset.
You know what? I don't know how I'd do it because I'm not electrical like that. I've got a DJI Phantom 2 Plus from forever ago with a gimbal.
Yep.
Even just
thing off of there.
Even forget the gimbal, just a little camera. It's good definition. I'd rather have one of these units though to do. I need to write them an email or something. I'd like to try that FPV that everybody's getting to try.
Yeah.
Chris
for sure.
Posted up one of those honcho bodies to the Fab Factory Facebook guys. Check it out.
I gotta go look at it. Right meow.
Right meow. Meow.
Right meow.
So I look forward to the show. I'm not sure anybody else does, but
Dude, you know, I look forward to hanging out with you for a couple hours so we can catch up because we don't talk during the week.
Yeah. Check them out.
Dude,
Awesome.
what? That's cool.
Ha.
Yeah. Dude, I like the honcho body the way you got that painted. That's nice.
Speaking of honcho bodies, I'm gonna have one to pass down to my grandkids. I'm pretty sure, new in the box.
If you don't sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
put on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody will want to trade you a car or a motorcycle or a side by side or
Is this for sale still? Is this
right.
still for sale?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
bro.
And you put no trades. And they're all like, hey, you want trade? Hey, dude. Hey, Beavis, you want trade? No. Come on.
Man. What I see the other day, somebody was trying to trade a real car for a couple crawlers or something.
Well, I mean, look how much money we got wrapped up in bodies and
I'm saying
chassis.
Yeah.
And dude, it was like I was telling you the other day, speaking of money wrapped up in things, dude, me and my girlfriend's brother, I took him out for the first time crawling last Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I put a couple of pictures of the black bug truck up on the RC 3D Fabulous Factory. And dude, we ate breakfast first before we went. And I told you this the other day, there was 4 side-by-sides, Can-Am, 4 of them, side-by-side sitting out in the parking lot. And these older guys came in and sit down right next to us. And we just got done eating breakfast. And I'm like, my girlfriend's brother's name's Eddie. I'm like, Eddie, watch this. And I stood up and I'm like, hey guys, I'm like, how much money does it cost to buy one of those? And they're like, oh man, they're expensive. And I'm like, well, I got a high dollar tri-tune sitting out on the river right now that they keep talking about decommissioning this dam out here around the corner from me. I said, they drain this river. I said, the first damn thing I'm doing is selling that high dollar aqua sled, and I'm buying one of those. And so then we started talking. They were like, hey, we got, between 50 and 70 grand in these things. And I'm like, holy shit. And but they were like, hey, anytime you guys want to come out and go with us, we go every weekend. Just such a good group of dudes, like what we are, going out and doing our thing. So I brought up to these guys, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm like, we're doing this shit on a much slower and lesser of money pace. Come check out what I've got. So they got done paying their bills and we all converged behind my car, and I opened up the back hatch and they're all like, holy shit, those are cool. And they're instantly like, we could see trying this. That looks fun. Can we come out sometime? I'm like, yeah, dude, you guys come on out.
They got all excited about coming out doing RC.
The RC, yeah, the crawler. I had both of my 6s in the back of the car, and they were like, they got real shocks on them. I'm like, dude, these things are legit. I'm like, if you guys like messing with those high dollar things, you'd love messing with these little high dollar toys.
For real.
So, met new friends, and dude, I started handing out my business card. I'm like, here, man, here's my cell phone number. Just get a hold of me anytime you guys want to come out with us.
And you went over there the next day at 7 for some stovetop, didn't you?
Yes. So Mrs. Grass.
That's cool, because that way we can still hit your mom's at 6:30 and have time to make it over to Johnny's for more stovetop at 7.
That's right. And there's Grandma's place right down the street from where we're at.
Let's go.
Yeah. But that was a great, find, meet these guys, and just a bunch of older guys just having a blast,
I'd like to do some of that real stuff, but I would like to do it in kind of full size. But that is not a bad way to go about it, because those things are made for it already.
Bro, they said that the maximum travel they can do on articulation is 26 inches.
That's crazy. And you can lock out the diffs. You can 4-wheel drive them. You can 2-wheel drive them.
Yep. And they said it was $40 for 3 years for a tag on it to be street legal. $40 for 3 years.
No way.
I might get rid of my overpriced Lincoln Aviator and get one of those and just start doing sales calls and that one of them.
And in the winter, just wear a snowsuit.
Right. Wear a helmet and snowsuit and get on with my life.
There you go. I've been in those things one time in Ocotillo Wells in California.
Oh, with Bobby?
Yeah.
I've never been in one. There's one of my coworkers has one, and he goes and he's like, dude, I'm constantly rolling that thing over, and I'm like, you're nuts.
Yikes.
But they're made for it, I guess.
I guess, man. We did some sketch stuff there, and we were going way too fast a few times.
Yep.
And I think that's why I just want to be on the wheel. Being a passenger sucks.
It does.
But I'm cool going slow.
Right?
With it.
Yeah.
Whether it's one of them or scaly. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. So Chris said, thanks. Tried to do a candy paint. It's all to my transparent red, transparent blue, and glitter silver base. Yeah, man, that looks good, Chris. Yeah, nice work.
I've got a Funko something or other. It's still in the box. I don't know what it is, but
that's a great idea. For these because they're the right size. I mean, they're a little big, but they look like bobbleheads in there.
This dude's huge. I printed,
bro. That's what we need is bobbleheads.
There you go.
We do,
and then just rip the heads off of the bobblehead.
Pilot Ryan bobblehead. I gotta make another cup of coffee.
Do it, man.
Pilot Ryan bobblehead.
Pilot Ryan bobblehead.
Hey, bro. So, what'd you think of my RC 3D Fab custom plate that I put on the back of my Scout?
It looks good. I saw it this morning, and I haven't looked at the file yet. I'm sure it's the same thing.
I'll see if I can drag it over. It's nothing much to look at, but it gives it a little bit better perspective than.
Yeah, dude.
If it wouldn't wash out, you can't see it.
There you can if you tilt it down. RC 3D Fab. That looks cool. Did you paint the letters?
Nope. I did an urban legend tie trick and paused it.
Yeah.
Switched out the filament.
Nice.
Yep. I think it only did like 2 or 3 layers.
That's all it needs.
That plate was like 9 layers total. So I think the first 5 or 6 were the base, and then it paused, and I just switched it over and put the red in.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have any colors anymore. So I'm even out of black. I got gray and clear. That's it. But I'm going to re-up on some. I'm going to probably get some PETG and try something. But yeah, that plate looks good. You know me, I've been doing it cheap where I'll go one color and then paint it and then sand off the high spots and expose the letters.
Yep. That's a good way to go. So
it's down and dirty. It works because this is what it starts out being.
Yep.
It's already rounded on the corners and has the holes in it and stuff. And I could legit just flip it over the other way and put whatever I wanted on there.
Yeah.
It'd be easy enough to make it, but it's already. That's what I used on the little trimmer's truck because I had to have something.
Absolutely.
And I painted that one. It's a blue plate with a white line around the outside, and I painted the letters. Like,
I mean, that detail is fantastic, and Matt does a great job doing that stuff. But man, I don't have the eyes anymore for it. I can't do that real small stuff anymore like that.
Crank the heat up a little, Chris. I think.
G. Chris, that's like my big Creality K1 Max, for whatever reason, I can't print TPU on it at all. And I've actually printed out the big structure that sits on top of it, and bought the ball bearing, the correct bushings for the roller. It rolls super free, comes right straight down into the head of the machine. And every time I try to print TPU, correct values on temperature and everything, it just gets clogged up. Sucks. Because I would love to be able to put some layers of TPU in these clips that I'm using up front to give it just a few layers, just to give it a little bit of flexibility there. It would be perfect, but I can't get it to run on that machine.
Yeah. A little grip.
Yep.
Kind of.
Just give it a little bit of cush in the middle, so it's got.
I've heard a lot of people talk about that. It's very hard.
TPU is extremely hard to run.
To do.
Dude, my little Ender 3, my Creality Ender 3, my original machine, it'll run it all day long. I made all those tire inserts for Kirk, and I think I gave you a set. I had a couple sets. I made those. Dude, those are all TPU. And my machine would run that crap all day long.
How did it feed it? Just
straight down off the roller like anything else on that one. And it didn't have any issues at all. But my big K1 Max, I don't know if I'm not doing something right or what, but there's other guys that'll run the TPU all day long on them, and I just don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I haven't tried to print any yet.
Cobra. Oh, so Chris has got Anycubic. Yeah, 85 is pretty soft. I would bet it would probably gum it up, and probably the drive gears would probably wouldn't work good for that.
Oh yeah.
Because 85 softer than your 95.
Got it. Yeah, I want to try this PTG, different stuff, and I think it'll be all right. I'd have to look at what the temperatures default to, but it's been fine for me. The only PTG I have printed is this clear stuff, but all my lenses are it on everything.
Yeah, if it runs pretty good without any kind of smoke coming off of it, like what the not ABS, what's the other one? The
ASA, PSA, I think it is.
ASA. I've got 4 brand new rolls of ASA, and I keep saying one of these days I'm gonna take my printer, my K1 Max, and put it in the garage.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna run all 4 of those rolls, and I'm gonna make another body with it and just see how it comes out.
It'll come out fine. It just stinks.
Yep, just run it in the garage.
I've never really needed to clean the inside of my window on that door until after that stuff.
Yep.
But it was super cold too, so it's like funky stuff, and then probably a little bit of condensation in a way. I mean, it dries it out, but it's still, if it's super cold out here and then hot in the box, it's sticking more.
Yep.
Anycubics, those people that reached out to me.
Where did that go? Nowhere?
Nowhere. They were all hot to trot, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And they're like, we just want you to promote it without knowing what it's about.
That's crazy. Bro, since how it's sitting up here, I got to show everybody my little baby, man. Check this thing out.
Let's see. That's a monster, bro. 8S Creighton with an infraction body on it. Check it out. Monster. You change those tires out.
Yep.
Yep. That's killer. We drove that little thing. That big dude on the little oval.
Yeah. Dude, I love this truck. It's so strong. Sorry, I just threw it down.
Seismographs are going off.
What's on the kitchen counter weekly?
Yeah. 8S Creighton.
Dude, I bought 2 of those at the same time. They were rollers, and I bought one for my brother and one for me because my brother's got he's got a couple trucks, and I'm like, dude, we need to jump these things, and he's like, he's got some tracks and stuff. And I think you sold him some of that stuff when you had the shop.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. And my brother, he's, he keeps his stuff very, very nice. And I told him, I said, this is bullshit. I'm like, I'm buying 2 of these rollers.
Cool.
And I said, we're going to go out and beat the living piss out of these things. And he went with,
at least get them dirty.
He went with a hobby wing system.
Mm.
And I think he's running, I think it's 1100 kV in his, or 1200, probably 1100.
Yeah.
And I've got
slight differences between yours. Yep.
And his is quite a bit, it's got a lot more pep than mine does. And this is just like an older Castle. I think it's 900 kV.
Something like that. Yeah. 8 or 9.
And a Mamba X, I don't know, ESC in it.
Did you?
I don't.
What radio? What radio did you end up using on that? Did you have to do any programming on that Castle?
Yeah, so I actually bought the little module that plugs into the receiver, and I can change on the fly everything on my phone on the app.
That's what's up.
So I actually drive it with the stock radio because I put a computer radio on it. And that day that I headed up at the hobby shop when we were jumping it, it was like it was like intermittent problems out there. And I don't know if it was that tower that was there or what, but as soon as I switched back to the stock radio and I ran it up there that next time, it was fine.
They get to where, I mean, even the bind and connection can be okay, but if the calibration is waffling, if it doesn't know what its endpoints are, that's when things act weird. And you don't want throttle acting weird in the air when you're trying to give it a correction.
I don't want the throttle or anything acting weird on this truck, as heavy as it is and how wild it is.
Right. I had to recalibrate that Creighton.
My old one?
Yeah.
Got you.
And it helped because it was lagging. There was like a delay on the trigger. And so you just got rebind and go through the calibration. It's in all the manuals, but
I don't read manuals. You know that.
It does. But
any guy that doesn't bother with setting his flap to elevator mix, I don't know how to recalibrate anything, and I don't want any part of a new NX, IX, or any other radio from Spectrum. I like my old trusty DX8 Gen 2.
And that's a fine radio. And what's nice about the NXs is it's like the same radio, man. I mean, you get around on a DX, you can get around on NX. It's like when you get a new smartphone that you don't have to do anything. It works like the old one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and I use those cheap AR, whatever the hell they are. It's just a cheap, like, I don't know, 6-channel
620 receiver. No stability or what?
Yeah, no, I don't. I grew up not using it, and to this day I don't use it. I don't like it because I can't feel it, So most of my airplanes outside of the E-flight planes, are just the 620. That's just a straight up small receiver. The Christian Eagle is the same thing. A 620.
Dude, I saw, and that's a small receiver that's got internal antenna, and most people think park flyers and stuff, but Bobby was putting them in HSD 12S jets and stuff, and it was fine.
Yep, I probably have 15 or 16 of those receivers, and everything FMS. I know you don't want to hear it. Free wing, anything outside of V-Flight upstairs, and I have had zero issues with those receivers. What's up, Ty? I run Radio Link. Yeah, so I think that's actually what I have. Let me grab mine and look. I think it is. Yep. Yeah, Chris. Yep, that's what I got. Radio Link.
What trucks are you able to do neutral in?
So he's talking about using this variable knob on here. So you can find that center spot, I bet. Yep. That's a great idea. And then do you set your endpoints so that you don't smoke the servo then between forward and reverse? That's exactly what I should do.
How's that even work?
Well, because like when I had my plow on the SCX6, I used this knob to turn it left and right. And these radios are like,
how does the shift servo, which is second gear to first gear, provide the opportunity to go neutral?
Because this is a variable. This is like your.
I mean, I get that.
So you find the sweet spot. You run your servo. I get where he's going.
So within that range, there's neutral.
Yeah, you can set that in neutral. I know exactly what he's talking about, dude. That's genius, Chris.
That can be done on any radio that's programmable. Then,
yeah,
that's killer.
Yep. So, Chris, just to confirm, you set your endpoints with so you turn the dial all the way one way in your first gear, and then you go middle, and you're in neutral, and then the full other way, and you're in reverse. Oh, Kirk's all over it. He's like, that's a great idea. Heck yeah, it is. That's fantastic. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be smoking my servo because Kelly don't know how to set his endpoints. Not.
Yeah, Kirk, that's what I was thinking. A 3-position switch should be able to do it as well.
Yep.
But yeah, the fine tuning on the roll dial is nice.
Yep.
The MT12, that's a surface radio, right?
Watch servo and back off a little when it starts to flex. Yep. Dude, yeah. Chris, thank you. Man, that's a great idea.
That's better than undoing the drive shafts like I was talking about.
Well, somebody had said that you can, I don't know if it was Chris or somebody here a couple weeks ago, said you can just manually just set that servo in the center position. Yep. So that you're in middle, so you do get that kind of neutral sensation if you have to drag it out of the woods.
Right. You just have to unplug the servo and manually set it or something.
I need to look at what Ty's talking about. Is that, I bet you can buy that on Amazon, can't you? Because most of these Radio Link and Radio Masters you can buy. Radio Master.
I tend to keep on brand with that kind of stuff, but people do it.
Bro, this Radio Link I'm using, I have used it and used it on all my trucks and have never had a problem with it ever.
How's the programming though? Isn't it that open source baloney?
It's so super easy. So Radio Link MT12.
I disagree 100%.
No, dude, it's so easy to use. I can program a truck on this in no time. $155.99 on Amazon.
You can get a DX6C for that Spectrum.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a Radio Link kind of fella.
Well, don't need any service. You know what I mean?
Well, sure, absolutely. But this radio,
up and
bro,
thing.
When I bought this radio, it was like I think 47 or $48. And I have never had it fail. It just works.
That's awesome. I've got a fun thing going on with one of my RTR radios right now where show you a mod here. So see this little extra stick on the power button?
Yeah.
So
that's why I don't have Spectrum, bro.
It's an RTR radio. This is ready to run. So I can turn it on, but I can't, the spring or whatever in the little button isn't working to turn it off. So you just got to pull on it. I glued on a little stick to the button.
Nice.
Jank style.
Nice.
And I have good radios. I could bind it up to a good radio. I could all day. But this is the radio for this dude. This is the Honcho DX3. And I love the thumb wheel. And
I do love that feature.
The gear shift. I mean, it's all done.
So that radio is like brand new. I mean, you haven't had that Honcho very long.
No, but a switch is they're either going to be bulletproof forever or it's going to go on you soon. And
yeah,
if I don't have that on there, I can't turn it off without taking out the batteries, which is not the end of the world. And like I said, I could bind it up to another radio, but it's already. And I always have a good radio with me. Actually, that time it let me do it without having to pull on it. So, whatever, dude. Low key, you know me.
That's right.
Boss is getting the last flight in before dark. There you go.
I might actually have, I got to think about this. I might actually have another extra one of these radios that you could have if you want one.
I'll take it. I use them. I like them.
I do too.
But for RTR radio, DX3's killer.
I mean, because I run everything off of this. But I'm trying to think if I got, I do have an extra one for my, let me think about this. Is it my original? Yeah, my first, my Honcho.
Sixes will have it. Yeah.
No. The second one I got. No, I didn't get a radio with that. Never mind. No, I don't know. I need to look, Ryan. If I got an extra one, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll use them. I mean, like I said, I got the good ones, but my 5C needs to get serviced, but my 5 Pro's okay, except driving one-handed with it sucks.
Right.
That's why I like these.
Yep.
I like these. And you can, I've had DX3s that were for other vehicles that weren't crawlers, so they didn't have the thumb wheel thing. And you can just swap them. You take them off and put them on another one.
Bro, I remember when was it? Last year you had one of your radios with a Corsair tire on it?
Dude, It's the DX5C. I had a big old Mustang airplane tire on it,
Yeah.
so I could reach it.
Yep.
And thumb steer. I love that 5C, except for the scroll wheel is acting a fool right now. But I've had that thing forever.
Right. Boss said last flight before dark.
Yes, sir.
Nice. I've been kind of itching to get out and do some flying pretty soon.
I want to do some more, man. That last time I flew the Sportix, I had a blast with it until I hit the pole.
Yeah.
And it's fixed. It's ready. That thing flew good. It was fun.
Yeah, we need to go somewhere else other than that place. That's Obstacle City.
It's only nice because it's handy, but I hate Obstacle City,
Right.
especially for video work, because the whole thing about video is low and close, and
you don't have it there, no matter where you go. That one big field out there, it's got goalposts all over, so it's horrible.
Obviously. You know,
I always worried about sticking one on top of the school.
That would be rough.
So I'll avoid that place.
Makes sense. Yeah, I want to go to that place close by you, Elkhart, because all the fields for me are the same distance, so might as well get close to you guys instead of going the other way, instead of going more west from here.
I've never been to that new field.
It's all right. It's a little tight, but it's okay.
That carport that they got out there.
They got
my dad.
They got electricity.
Oh, do they? My dad and I moved that damn carport with my boat trailer.
Really?
Yeah. Because we had to we jacked it up and got my boat trailer in underneath it, and then went like a crawl with my Dodge Ram, pulling that thing, and we went across the field to that spot and set that thing down. And I never flew. I was a member for a year out there and never flew there.
They should have gifted you a membership for life.
Right?
After that kind of mess.
That was crazy moving that stuff. But yeah, it'd be kind of, but isn't that surrounded by woods except for one side?
It's kind of tight, but it's still better than a school parking lot.
Francis, field overgrown, haven't flown.
I mean, I really like Tri-Valley.
Yep.
And South Bend RC. But it just man, that Elkhart place is awfully close to you.
It is pretty close. But the other place that we could fly at is at my office. Kirk and I have flown out there a couple times. There's a huge field right to the south of our building, and
what's the runway like?
Dude, you can take off and land on the grass, or you can take off and land on the blacktop parking lot. I go out there once in a while on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning early and take my little UMX Timber out there and just rip it up.
Nice. So there's enough space there?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, if Kirk's still in here, him and I flown there a couple times.
Right on.
Yep. That's where we should probably go.
I'm down. If you're not going to get a hassle there.
Heck no. No hassle.
That's what's up.
Dan don't care.
Cool.
I mean, if we put one on the roof, I know how to get it down.
I'd love to get some videos done on planes, man. You guys could fly these things too.
Let's go. Let's go do it. Let's get it done.
I'm probably gonna wrap soon, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, my peeps just got home.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotta go spend some time with the fam.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna check them out. Homie just got back from lacrosse.
Nice.
And yeah, I think I might.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys, we
I
got
don't
these
have-
scouts ready to rock, and we thought we were going to get out last weekend, maybe a weekend before. It didn't work out, and this weekend wasn't going to work out either, and we're making it work out for Monday. So next week you're going to see the scouts video, which I'm pumped about making.
And maybe some bashing.
Yeah, dude, I'll bring some.
Across the creek. Dude, we're going to turn our own backyard into Beat the Creek. We're going to beat the creek.
Let's do it, man. I haven't been out there for a minute, dude. I wonder how much water there is left.
Dude, probably not a lot. It'd be a good time to run across that creek. Be perfect time.
The Creighton can do it.
Oh, yeah. If I had the room, I would take the big 8S and run it across there, but this thing's so massive and so
I don't
big.
know. Yeah, you really got to be able to get up to speed.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah.
You really got to be able to get up to speed smooth.
If I had the right tires on the Typhon, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think Typhon's doing it unless it's got big, flat, wider tires on it.
Probably
It'll
not.
just sink. I mean, we can watch yours sink.
But you know what? The Typhon, the way it's set up, it's got a nice little flat bottom on it, and it doesn't sit very high off the ground. So who knows?
I would put money on it not working on the Typhon. We haven't seen anywhere on the internet anyone do that with a Typhon.
True.
It's the tires aren't big enough. It's the contact area, surface patch. Because that's yeah. I mean, the bottoms of all these things are flat for the most part.
Yep.
It's the wheels.
Yep.
Got to be able to pull it off.
Yep. You do.
Like,
yeah,
X Maxes, 6S Creightons, 4S Creightons, stuff with those kind of bigger basher tires.
Yep.
If the stars align, they can get full speed. It works.
Yep. You got to keep the momentum up. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not bringing much to the table tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're about
wrapped on these.
The only thing that I did this week was design and print out that license plate. That's all I did this week.
And I got done. I got my guy. I got my marker lights. I had to design that bit for the way I mounted the front. Drilled some holes. Got the windows in. Weather stripping's done. The details. The biggest detail is mounting them up. And so once I figured that out a few days ago, it was like finish up the details, man. And
yep. Bro, your windows trim, the seal looks really good on there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I hate doing windows, bro. I hate them. Even no matter how good a job I do cutting, I can't stand doing them. And then, I got this truck looking so good. And after I glue in the windows, the glue is shiny. So then I repaint it again, the weather seal. Trying to not get it on the windows and stuff. And it's still fine, but it's always better before I put them in. And I'm like, dude, I want to figure out a way to glue something in to hold it that it acts like a weather seal. It holds it in. It's going to hide the glue. And I used, this was all flat windows. So I used up some stuff that I bought too thick by accident because I didn't have to curve a radius or anything. And Urban said, Ty said I should get the 1/18 Scout to pull behind this one on trailer. The only problem with that is I hate the small stuff completely.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan either.
10 scale is it. That's as small as I'm going. But yes, those little Scouts look good for little trucks.
So Francis, dude, you just literally like read my mind. Because was it the one of my vehicle bodies that I printed out? I used black hot glue to glue the windows in. I think it was that Carmen Gia that I gave you.
It's the Carmen Gia.
And if you're careful with it, the black, actually that black hot glue is actually a pretty okay way to go. And it doesn't take that much.
It's shiny though.
Yeah, it is. Yep. But the black RTV might be a good option too.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Maybe.
even trying to get my head's on it. I've been working on it in my head because I don't want to really use silicone either unless I mask the window off again to do it. I mean, if I mask the window off again to do it, but in some that would work.
Yep.
I'm using CA. They have this stuff called canopy glue. That's a clear glue. That's not so. CA is.
It's not good for that.
But I hate it.
Yep.
Bro,
seeing how Ty's in here, I gotta show him my big Creighton.
Do it, man.
Why he's in here.
Yes.
Ty, here's my big toy, bro.
He's got an infraction body on it, Ty. It fit pretty good. Little air cooling in the front grill, or is that lights?
Nope. Air cooling.
Yep. That thing is wicked, dude. Wicked. We got to make somebody for something fast.
And then you guys are talking about, Ty, you're talking about putting something in a trailer. There's my SCX6 trailer, and I got my Typhon hanging in there. I think it's going out with me on Monday.
I could almost do that. My pin tires are going to suck in the sand, but if I change the tires out,
dude, bro, I think these will do okay. I mean, they're not going to be great.
Those will do better than mine will. But man, I could put something else in them, and they might be okay. But they'd be big. It would look stupid, but it'd work. It would work.
Yeah. You know, bro, I was thinking about it. I got those big, cheap ass basher tires down in the basement. I've got like 4 sets of those. I ran a set of those on my Honcho at Bago Creek.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, they actually worked pretty good.
Oh yeah, they probably did. And they would make your Typhon a little more sand ready.
But they won't. I don't know if they'll fit on a Typhon.
17mm hex, y'all.
Well, yeah, but the way the wheel is, I don't know if they'll fit depth wise.
I bet they will, because all those basher tires present a big face, but then are like way empty on the backside.
Bro, I'm gonna put myself on mute. I'm gonna go get one.
Do it. Brian, yeah, I thought of that as well. What's up, Dwayne? It's just hard to get it down the middle right. Perfect. I've actually used the dark wire out of a servo lead before for weather stripping, but same problem. I got to glue it in too. So it's like, man, I got to come up with a way to do it, I think, ahead of time in the print, and then put the window in from the, paint it and put the window in from the back. Because, oh yeah, that'd make.
Dude, these things are chunky, man.
Those might actually fit that Typhon. That might actually fit them. That thing will work good in the sand with big old flat ones like that.
The problem is I'm looking at it right now. I'd probably have to run it without the body on it. These things are so massive, bro. Come on, look at this. Look at this. I right side by side.
What's the offset? Where's that put it at?
Right in the middle of the tire.
Size that up in the middle. You think that get into the body?
I would say so. It would be close. These things are flipping massive. Look at that, bro.
I don't know, man. That might go.
You know what? If I can get them on there, it'd be worth it just to try and run it across the creek.
That's what it'd take to make it work too.
With these big beasts.
Yeah. Ty says it's absolutely going to get into the body.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably.
But you know what? It's worth it to run it across the creek.
It would limit your steering a little bit, but it'd probably run.
I should put these on my original honcho and put that sucker in second gear and just send it.
You ever seen a 6-door International 60s era? I have not. Sounds long.
That's crazy, Chris. Yeah, I've seen people ride on too.
You can get away with short course tires, not monster truck tires. But for going straight across the water, maybe it'll be fine.
Nothing like killing a Typhon just to try and run it right straight across the water.
Just to see. Wait till the end of the day. After you play with it, son.
I think it'd make a great video. You know.
I think you're right about that.
Sinking the Typhon, not the Titanic, but the Typhon.
The Typhon Tanic.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Jeff, Brian in the house. What up? What up? So yeah, stay tuned. We've been working hard on these projects. They're looking good. We're ready to run them. Monday's the day we're going to get out and run them. And I don't think a little rain's going to stop me on Monday.
Nope. As hot as it's been, it'll feel good if it is lightly rain. And if you're in the woods, who cares?
That's what I'm saying. I'm so ready to run, bro. It feels like it's been a minute. If I miss a couple weeks, it's like,
you start jonesing. I get it. That's why Kirk said a little while ago that he's jonesing to get out. We were originally going to go Saturday morning, but then we talked and I said, hey, Ryan's off Monday. Let's just go Monday. And he said that works for me. So
yeah, he can come too because he's off.
Yep.
Bro, he going to bring his power wagon then?
I think so.
As
far as I know, he is. I think, well, did you see what he did to his honcho body?
Yes.
With the dish soap thing?
Yes, that's a cool masking technique. I've heard of that. I've seen guys do that on some race rigs.
I think he's actually going to bring the honcho with that.
Okay.
That body on there. But hopefully he'll bring the power wagon. I'd like to see it. I haven't actually seen it.
I'd like to see that power wagon next to these.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. I'll work on trying to get these tires to fit on the Typhon. I'll see if they'll fit.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go nuts with like axle extensions or anything.
Nope.
It's either going to go straight or not.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
We can bring the Typhon and try it. My only thing is, how do we get it out there?
Get it back to the sand pit?
We'll drag it out to the where we're gonna run them. Yeah.
Dude, I'll just either throw it in my trailer and pull it with my 6, or Kirk said he'll bring his flatbed trailer and I can mount it on there.
I'm just not ready to trailer. I want to run this.
Yeah, I get it. But I would bring both of my rigs.
used Elmer glue to mask the honcho. Nice. The window?
Interesting. Elmer's glue mask.
That would act like liquid mask almost.
Yep, it would.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, Chris say he needs a license plate. Stretch Armstrong. Brother, hit me up on Messenger.
Windows and lights.
Hit me up, Chris, on Messenger. I'll make you one. I just need to know what dimensions you want it to be.
Nice.
Or I can actually make it on. I can do that on Fusion and just send you the STL
And he
file.
can size it up how he wants.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see. I can't wait to see this out, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing both of them together on a video running because they're so much different, but they're the same files. That's what's so cool about this.
That's killer, and it's the first one I haven't had to cut the arches on. It's just kind of a whole different deal, and same files, different trucks.
Just like the song says, Ryan, whole new world, man.
Box back versus open. It's just too cool, dude.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think I may do a truck next again. I like the trucks. They're always going to perform good, man. Lower center, easy back end.
See, bro, it would be easy for me to make a truck version with mine. Because all I gotta do is take four bolts out, pull the roll cage off, and I could print just that top section and just use some VHB tape.
Yeah, man.
And just tape
all it off. Whenever I do a truck, I research, so I see a ton of other ones, right? I've seen some really cool other paint jobs on these things and patinas.
Yep.
And I'm like, this one I don't plan on doing any real patina on this one, but I like doing that, but not on this one. Not yet. It just, I'm happy with it. But
you got it to where it looks just like the picture of the one that you were trying to, go after. So,
the only thing I'm missing is that front bit to hang the plow from. That's the only thing missing, bro.
Yeah.
And the Snowstar logos, which I'm working on. Thank you, Kirk. I measured them up, dude, and sent some images, and it's just black and white. So, and I think they go on like a transfer. It's going to look sick. I just got to, I'll clear coat it probably again after.
It'll
help fill in my little logos and stuff. But now if I clear coat it, I got to mask off my windows. Son of a gun. My windows are so clean and clear right now, they don't look like they're in. I did paint the wing windows were white. I silvered them out last night, the little wing window.
What did you use for your material for your windows? Did you use a plastic box like you sometimes?
No, this stuff was thick stuff I had laying around that was a mistake.
Was it that polycarbonate stuff?
Something like that. Lexan. But it's like thick Lexan.
Ty asked the big question. So this was sitting on my deck last Saturday, and I timed it out.
I'll be right back, homie.
It was, this was flat, and now it's not. That's how much it warped. PLA, and temperature was about 92. And it was insanely hot, and it was about 3 hours. But the funny thing is, when I put that out it was straight. Within 30 minutes, it was starting to curve and bow, and I felt it, and it was super soft. And then after like a couple hours, it kind of got to a point where it just didn't want to do anything else, and it almost acted like it hardened back up. So be careful with the PLA out in the sun. It will definitely warp. Now, I don't know, being glued together as a structure and having paint on it probably would help kind of protect that a little bit, but still it melted pretty quick within 30 minutes. Cool, Chris, thanks. I'll design that and let me know what size you want, and I can get that made and just send you the STL file. We'll chat. What else is everybody doing? Anybody else printing RC bodies like Ryan and I, or out flying airplanes, or what's going on? I know some of you guys are airplane guys like me, so I kind of miss flying right now. Need to do some of it. Live on the water here, so we need to do some float flying. But other than that, just messing with trucks. Ty, did you ever finish your boat and run it that you were 3D printing? I should take on that task at some point and try printing out a boat and see how that works.
I've seen the 6 scale files for a boat floating around out there that look pretty sick. I think it's a jet boat.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
I mean, it's like perfect size for behind one of these. That's what, hey!
Oh, no. Here we go.
I need to take my boat to that place.
Oh.
I can put that in my backpack, bro.
Yeah.
I got to fix it. Remember when Dylan hit me?
Yep, sure do.
That was fun. We were like racing them.
That was a hard hit too when you guys hit.
We were asking for it, bro.
Oh yeah, you guys were ripping it up out here.
I gotta find that footage. I have it.
Oh, you never posted it up on YouTube?
No.
That was a fun time, man.
That was a fun time. I mean, I had really good airplane video from that event. So that's what. No, that wasn't the time we did the Super Timber.
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby wasn't there. We didn't run the Super Timber when Dylan was with us.
Yeah, it was. We were just flying off of the pier.
That's right.
I don't know, why didn't we go out in the boat? I don't remember. Well, we did. Didn't we go out later? Yeah. Why didn't we go out in the boat and fly?
We did. I don't know.
I don't know. It's all a blur.
We were cool where we were, I think.
I guess. Yeah. I see Dylan's truck once in a while up at his boss's house upriver when we go by.
Okay.
We need to reach out to him and get him over here and go to the sandbar and do some flying and take your boats and go down there. Dude, that's fun. Running the boats. When I had that diamond, that was it Blackjack something? The red and black boat. That damn thing would flip over. I'd like the self-riding ones, but that thing, it was so much fun at the sandbar. Get out there and just rip it.
I think it's like anything where, to me, they're funner if there's other to run with.
Yep, for sure.
I've done boats just a couple times in my whole time, and it was the funnest time at your place with Dylan.
For sure.
And he came in clutch on a couple little minor fixes because my rudder bent. It didn't bend. It just got loose and went back. And I lost all this steering authority.
Yep.
He knew right away what happened.
Yeah, we got the wrenches out and fixed that thing in a heartbeat. And it was like
right away. Yeah, he had the same boat, different paint scheme.
What we need to do is just get on my aqua sled and take off out of here, and then you guys can run the boats
next to it
alongside.
I want to get some wicked shots. That would be cool.
Yeah, because I think I can run. I don't know, with all you guys on there, probably close to 50.
And for those rolling shots of next to something, it doesn't have to be crazy. It's just got to be moving.
Yep.
I mean, it's the bigger the rooster and all that's good, but you know,
For sure. Yep, for sure.
the sweet shots when you slow them down anyway, slow-mo. So the irony is go fast, but then slow it down.
Dude, we need to do a slow-mo with something going across that creek come Monday. Something's going across that creek.
Let's do
One
it.
way or another, something's going across.
Depends who's driving. You may submarine your crawler right across the.
Whatever.
If
Well,
you put the Typhon up on step, it'll be awesome.
I should just put these tires on my fire team truck and bring that, because that would go across the creek with these big honking meats.
You don't think it's too heavy?
The fire team truck? Nah. I bet I could get across it, because that creek's not very wide. What, 15, 20 foot? By the time it starts sinking, you're at the other side, bro.
It depends how you hit the water. And the one thing too is like what's on the other side. It's got to be bank, like shallow bank at the other side, or you're going to just hit a wall.
That's all right. That's where you launch it from being on the water up in the air and do a backflip and then land in some deer crap somewhere. And then, you walk across the water and go get it. It would make a great slow-mo video, man. I'm telling you.
That would be cool.
We're doing it. One way or another, something's going across.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it. The
Cool, man.
It's going to be easy to carry too. Like
It would be.
Huge.
It would be.
I mean, honestly, even the Creighton, if I take the tires off and put them on later, would be better than trying to get it out. I could backpack it with the tires off, I bet.
Probably.
I'm going to be about this though, dude. I'm not going to lie. I'm so about this, man.
Well, Monday's your day, bro. So
it's gonna get its first scratches. Yeah, birthday, dude.
Whatever you want to do, bro.
I'm going to be 22.
22. And I think we should just do breakfast or something before we go crawling.
That's not a bad idea, except for that sounds like early.
Well, it just puts you back at home later. It puts you back home later then.
Well, whether you eat before or after, it's the same.
Yep.
My thing is I'm wondering just about heat of the day. Like, I'd almost rather get out in the woods as soon as possible.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. We'll stick with the plan.
And then we'll eat.
Yep. Yeah. I'm buying Ryan lunch for his birthday, y'all.
22 with 31 years experience. Is that how that works? No. 22 with 29 years experience. There you
go. There's the math.
That's the math. I can't believe that's even true.
Every day, brother.
I do not identify as a 50-year-old man.
Dude, I'm creeping up behind you, man. Gonna be 49 in December, right behind you. But you know what, dude? I feel good. We go out, we exercise with our trucks.
Yeah, once every 2 weeks.
But you know what? We go out and walk 3.5, 4, 5 miles.
Yeah, I would like to do it more.
Well, we should. We gotta make that happen.
Any of you ready to run guys? Not everybody's making these, Like, I've got a few things that I never really did reviews on because with the trucks, I never had the pressure. Nobody was sending them to me. I just wanted to do them. With the planes, I always had a deadline, but with the trucks, I really haven't. And so I've got a Vanquish Phoenix, Trailfinder 2, FJ55, the FMS Toyota Land Cruiser could go out again. I got the SCX base camp builded Land Rover that hadn't been in front of the camera. I did take out the base camp build Willys. And then I've got the little Travelall leaf sprung deal. Hadn't really had a video. I did do a video on the trimmers truck the other day. You guys should see it if you haven't. I got the mash again. I'm always glad to take out the FMS FJ40 again, by the way. It made a lot of appearance in videos, but I'm not sure I ever really did a review. And I put good equipment in that, and we both did leaf spring deals on them.
Yep.
Anyway, out of those few ready to runs, man, would you want a video on them or any of those? I think I would like to do the Vanquish Phoenix and maybe the FJ55 leaf sprung deal and the Travelall somehow in the top of the group. I feel like I kind of did a review on the CJ7 already. Long time ago, I did one on that, Willys. And I did do some Traxxas crawlers on the channel too. But, we've been so into these builds, I've missed the ready to run thing. The last ready to run video I did was that FMS Toyota and stock out of the box at France Park.
Yep.
And it'd be another excuse to get out and make videos and get out and hike and walk. And some of these trail trucks, it'd be fine just to go to Wilson or somewhere close and knock it out. And you only need so much footage. You don't even have to run a whole battery in them.
Yep. Well, there for a while last summer, we were going out on Tuesday evenings after you got done working over at Wilson. And, you know, that place works, you know, for like a Tuesday night. We need to go back to that, you know.
And for trail trucking, it was totally fine.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And, you know, it wouldn't be awful to get into that flow. I would love to do the that Boom Racing kit they've got right now and the Relarlo thing they just put out, which is like it looks like an old Nissan. It's kind of cool.
The Relarlo stuff is kind of intriguing to me. I would like to have one of their big, you know, chassis that's just a hair smaller than the SCX6.
The other new one is they've got 3 of those big platform crawlers, that new Nissan looking thing, and then it kind of looks like a European Cherokee, so to speak.
Yep.
And then they got a big Rover and they've got a big Jeep with like a massive overland package on it, which would be, I do want to get at the chassis, but of course with a ready to run that's got the moving driver and windshield wipers that work and all that stuff, it makes sense to show it off the way it comes. And I'd love to be on the radar for those people, you know, it'd be cool to get fed some ready to runs, but
yeah, I think they got great stuff.
I'd like to try that. I just wouldn't like to buy that, you know?
Right. Well, and bro, we need to do some like just live stuff out in the woods too, you know, with all of us crawling around and stuff.
And we were jamming on our leaf sprung stuff until we got into these 6s, bro.
Yeah, I just saw Chris's comment too.
They are different, but they're awesome in their own way.
Yep.
Is what I'd say. And on the scale side of it, if it's leaf sprung, your back end and your interior generally can be more scale. There's less necessity to make cuts for any of it to fit.
Right. And you know what? It depends on where we're going. Maybe not so much now, Ryan, is what it was before because I'm so hung up on these 6s. But, you know, going to George Wilson on those Tuesday evenings, I love driving my FJ40 with the leaves on it because that was like a perfect park and a perfect landscape to get around with it. And some of the stuff like up there where those steps used to be, dude, it was like no big deal. I mean, we would go places where the coilovers
we were always surprised with how good the Leafs did.
Yep.
And this one's got a little bit smaller tires than, you know, regular old 475s, but this dude's leaf sprung, our FJ40's leaf sprung, my Michigan's leaf sprung. Yep. I got a Golden Nugget sitting over here that could be done. Trimmer's truck is leaf sprung. My
It just
those
depends on what
FJ40s
you want to do with it,
surprise us a lot. Like,
brother.
I feel like I got my FJ40 dialed for what it is. And it's on Leafs. I love that truck. I went hobby wing in it, changed the servo, everything.
Yep. Yeah, we both have aftermarket stuff in those.
And
they do great. And yours sits a little bit lower than what mine does.
Yeah, I did some extra
because of your little mod that you did on the hangers.
This thing's fantastic, dude. It's on Goodyear MTRs. This is the articulation on Leafs. It's not awful. Goodyear MTRs, axle extensions, got it out there a little bit. Hobby wing. Bob Ross.
Chris, I had the, what were they? Mickey Thompson, my Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X's on mine, and ran in the sand and everything out there at where we like to go all the time, and that thing was an animal with those Baja Pros.
When I'm pulling a trailer, this is always what pulled it. This thing's got more mileage on it pulling something than it does by itself.
Yes, it does.
And it held on. Yeah, those are nice aluminum wheels with Goodyear MTRs, kind of lower ride height. That thing's fun. And it did get some time in front of the camera. I feel like I did a mini review. A lot of times it was kind of like back then we were figuring, that looks so good. Back then we were I was a little bit figuring out how to do it, because there'd be a handful of us out at the same time. And it's like, okay, this is a little bit about the truck, but it's more about the session. And so it's a little bit hard sometimes to know how to tackle the story, but I'm starting to feel like I have a better handle on how I want to do these truck videos. Like when I do whatever ends up coming out for this Scout, just like I'm sure what you're going to be up to as well, there's a ton of progress shots to mix into these videos to tell the story of how we got there.
Yeah, we need to definitely put that stuff in there.
And that's not hard to do retroactively either. Like just a couple pictures of the bottom of this thing or the hood open and show the hobby wing. I mean, it's all eye candy. And the more you give it, the harder it is to click away. And in YouTube, that's the name of the game. The video doesn't have to be 20 minutes. It can be 10. Keep their attention and not ask for much of their time and get the job done. Before, the very first crawler videos I made, I think they were actually pretty good, but they were long and it was just the run. No story at all. I mean, good stuff. I think if you look at my first crawler videos, they're okay. And I'm pretty proud of the Traxxas 2021 Bronco videos I did. I did like 3 of them. One with every color. And then another one with the bigger tires, the whole upgrade of it all. So those are good, but I didn't quite have it in my head how I wanted to tell the story yet. So
I'm busy taking pictures on my builds right now. And you know what? Chris is doing the same thing. He's doing a great job documenting his build with his and what he's doing. I can't wait to see that thing done. But that's massive.
Quite a job. That's thick.
It's definitely nice to be able to show the pictures of the progression within the video, because it just shows how much work goes into what the end result is. And some of these are harder than others. It just depends on what you're doing and what you got to work with.
And the way you solve the problems is fun. I think it's part of the whole journey of it. And for those that are also doing projects, I think it's always great to see what someone's doing to get there.
For sure.
And even if you're not doing it, it at least helps develop the context to understand what it took to make it happen.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty fun. I'm super
Absolutely
out on these, man. I'm looking forward to it. I got another weekend out of town doing tournaments where I long for the weekend like most guys do, and I value that time to nerd out and sand or finish or paint something, and I haven't been able to. So I've been knocking this thing out during, the wee hours and late. And I was able to spend a couple weekends sanding and working on it when I can, but little kids in sports, man. And we're out of town for some of these tournaments. So it's like, yeah.
Yep.
After the last weekend, it was the same thing. A tournament every day, Saturday and Sunday. And then right back at it Monday. And I'm like, you know what? This one's out of town. The last one was in town. So at least we were home every day, but still gobbled up the whole weekend. And then again, we're doing it this weekend. And I'm like, my wife's like, you have time off. You never take it. So take it. It's your birthday too. And I'm like, that's a good idea.
Take it to the limit. Let's
I've never
go.
gotten asked off for my birthday. I always think that's funny when people take off for their birthday a little bit.
I always do.
It's like, where's the parade? Who cares? But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It can help other people, and it's cool. And it archives the project. Yeah, Chris, it can be helpful. I think we all learn so much from each other all the time. I think it's awesome. I wouldn't be doing this at all without Kelly in the first place. And to see what we bounce back and forth, and I think a little bit of friendly competition. I mean, if it wasn't for the live stream and him doing a scout, I wouldn't be anywhere close to being done on this. And I probably wouldn't have made one in the first place, because I'd still be holding out for the perfect 1971 International truck that I wanted to do this scheme to. And I'm like, if I'm making a scout, I'm doing that scheme. And then I found one on the internet, and I'm like, oh, it's happening.
It is on.
And it is on, and I did it.
It's done. It's done. You're ready to go enjoy it on your birthday and scratch the living piss out of it.
Bro, I'm telling you, if these stickers come off that Kirk's working on with his contact for the Snowstar logo,
they won't come off.
I'm posting this thing everywhere. I'm going to be on the Full Scale international groups and everything. I don't even care.
I would. Absolutely. It looks like a real truck sitting in the Fab Factory over there in the corner.
Dude, I need more clutter in the factory. It's not honest, because if it was my factory, there would be crap all over. It's too empty. The only thing in it right now is an NX10. It's already starting to collect clutter. I got an NX10, a Vanquish Phoenix, an FJ55, Viper 90 wings, and a notepad for when I took my measurements. Because the table's lower over there. I'm literally got this thing hanging off the edge, and I'm laying on the floor taking measurements with my calipers or whatever like you call it to make that goofy piece I made for the front.
Yep.
That reminds me. Is that worth sharing, that stupid file image of how I mounted the front of this up?
Show it. Your big chunk of plastic with the holes all over in it.
Big chungus.
Show it.
I think I have it on here. I can send it to myself and
yeah,
not
Chris,
have.
Chris, I got some melted rustic parts, body parts that are going to Ryan on Monday. That's out here in the sun that I just showed. Those are all going to Ryan, so he can cut them up and put them in the Fab Factory.
I'm sending 2 pictures to share. One is of the Scout that I'm modeling it after, and the other is the big plastic chungus I made.
Chris, was that video you're talking about of the K5, my Blazer? That thing got some attention out there. That big Blazer
Dude.
body.
Yeah, it did. You know, watching that short video I did when I did the truck without the windows and the marker lights is how I knew I wanted marker lights. I was watching that and I was like, man, that needs something else.
Dude, that's why by the way, I found these Enjora marker lights on Amazon. They're $11.99. They're 1/10 scale. They're 1/10 scale marker lights. Take the lights, the bulbs, and throw them away. Don't use them. And get yourself some 3mm orange and some 3mm red bulbs. And that's what I got on the K5. And oh my God, they just work.
So you're just using the lenses then?
Yeah. Hold up.
All right, let me try to pull these up. Come on. Oh, yeah. All right, this is cool. So, dude, this is going to be fun. So, did I nail it or not? That's the question. So, let's see. Dude, I have to put these full-scale pictures in the video, bro.
Nice.
Because it gives it context. Where'd it go? Why did it disappear? That was weird.
Give me a minute. I think my earbuds are going dead.
There's the truck.
You there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you are. Now I got you.
There I am. Look at that, dudes.
Can you hear me all right?
I can, yeah.
Hold on. Test 1.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Man, there's only some slight differences on my truck versus this one. The tires, the bezels around those front lights, the front bumper, and the snowplow package that's on there. But dude, I got there, man. That thing worked out. And then here's that goofy piece I made for the front. It is cool how it says Snowstar, and mine's going to say it too. But yeah, here's the, it doesn't look like much, but everything is where it needs to be on this piece. This bottom piece is lower than these pieces, which set on top of the stock pin locations. This middle chunk sets right down on the cross member. If I need to screw up through the bumper mounts, I can. But I'm bolted in. I set blind nuts in this. And so I'm bolted. I lost them. I'm going to send an invite again to him. Hold on. But yeah, I set blind nuts in there in these little spots. And then this glues up along the hood. And then this front piece here is glued into behind the bumper. And it's in there. It's in there. But bro, this is where it's at right here. And this Snowstar logo, I'm working on getting it made. I even did the little stripes down here. And I got as close as I could, man, on the marker lights and stuff. I don't have those silver bezels. So what? And we already know better than to put mirrors on these things, so we don't. Kelly manufactured these little Scout emblems here, so we got those. Yeah, I mean, I did use a different bumper than this on mine, but from a different International. It's old school. You can't tell. And the only thing I don't have is this snowplow business. And even some of them had a couple lights on them, depending on if you added them on or not. But it's square tube. Yeah, short bumper. It doesn't wrap around. And we had the file for this, but there's so nothing to it. I didn't go for it, but I did do the stock back bumper. But yeah, you got the hydraulics and it's just square tube, you know, just square tube. Kelly says he's rolling. That's okay. I'm rolling too. His stuff cut off on him and he apparently didn't get the invite and it's not coming back on, but good times. We're going to get out Monday and run these things. Thanks for coming by, everybody. If you're watching this on the replay, a lot of you do. About how many? I think last week it was something crazy. 600 some people check this out on the replay. Leave a comment down there. Give it a like, you guys that are in here. Give it a thumbs up. I think that helps. I don't ask for it enough, but it really is important to feed the algorithm that runs this whole crazy YouTube thing. So engage with it. Dad, love you. The kids, Rafe, just got home. I'm going to get out there with them, but I'll try to catch up with you later. And everybody be well. Thanks so much. Looking forward to getting this out on Monday. Hopefully the middle of the week, end of the week, we'll have a running video of these our new SCX6 Scouts. So follow us on social in the meantime. Links to all that in the description of all the videos. You can check out Kelly's channel as well, linked in the description, and he's also right here in the comment. You can see this there and go to his channel, check it out, and post up what you're doing and follow what we're doing in the meantime between the lives at RC3D Fab Factory on Faceplace if you're doing Facebook. With that, we're seeing you. I'm out of here in 5. Hanger rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We will see you next time. Go drive something, will you? Bye now. Boom.